You can.
Can you just
We are
send it
live.
to me?
Good evening. Hello and welcome to Hard Talk with Afrida Hussain. Today I am joined by Tripura Royal Scion, Pradyut Manikya Dev Burma. Welcome to our show.
Hi, Aprita, how are you?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
Just been very hectic, a lot of work, but then struggling and chugging along. That's what.
Good. At least you were busy during the COVID time.
A lot of
People are
work.
stuck.
Lot of work.
Yeah.
Tripura has been badly affected. In fact, Northeast is facing the second wave, and
Yeah.
while the rest of the country, the cases are going down in the Northeast is pretty bad. So we need to
Mm-hmm.
be working extra hard. So many of our workers and students are also stranded outside, trying to get them back home.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. So, Pradyut, let's start the show. Today, we are going to discuss on the racial attack and the video which is going on viral regarding 4 to 5 man has raped one girl, and it has been alleged the girl maybe is from the northeast. Anyways, so I will start from that. The first with the Arunachal Pradesh case. Despite lots of racial attacks on northeastern people, there is nothing a concrete change which has been seen amongst the mainstream people. What is your first comment? Why it had not happened yet?
That's because it's very clear, I think, uh, I mean, this is a mentality. I mean, what happened with Ninong Iring when that
Hmm.
YouTuber, I think Paras or something,
Right.
and his comments just reflects the mentality of what's happening, and you cannot change that overnight. It's been there for 70 years. I think this is the mindset of a country which judges people on the caste, on the basis of their skin. When they look at
Hmm.
someone's clothes, or if you look at someone's beard, you comment on their religion. If you are
Hmm.
from the northeast, if you have a different face, then you comment on them being Chinese. When
Hmm.
Corona came last year, a lot of people were attacked because they thought that this coronavirus had come from China and northeast people were Chinese.
Hmm.
Uh,
Hmm.
so this is a mentality which will not go away. These are educated people. I believe that boy who spoke on Ninong Iring's or Ninong Iring in Arunachal Pradesh, he's got
Hmm.
4.5 lakh YouTube followers. So he's a well-educated guy. He knows what's happening. It's just
Hmm.
that they are sensitive, and that's because we, as a country, have become one in terms of
Hmm.
economic, in terms of a few things, but emotionally, I don't think that the mainland has ever accepted parts of India. I'm not only talking about Northeast, even parts of southern India as a part of the
Hmm.
mainland, and that is there. That's
Right.
why. Even if you look at Bengal had a huge problem with Mamta Banerjee in this election. They said Bengal ki beti and Bahar ki log. I think the
Hmm.
East has always been looked as not mainstream, and that's
Hmm.
why this happens.
Right. So you have spent also a good time working with the mainstream leader, so-called mainstream leader. Do you find any change in their mindset as well? Because you have worked so closely with them regarding the Northeast I'm talking about.
No, but my point is like, why should a mainstream leader change his point of view about us in the Northeast when we, our own leaders from the Northeast, keep on trying so hard to be someone from the mainstream? The biggest problem
Right.
is, I mean, I know Ninong Iringji and so many of the leaders. I mean, आप जितने भी कोशिश कर लो to be a Delhi wala, you will never be a Delhi wala. Instead, it's better that when you go to Delhi, when you go to different parts of India, better be a proud Naga or a proud Tiprasa or a proud Arunachali or a proud Ahomia, Asomia, rather than trying to be something you are not. Our problem with the leadership is that we are trying too hard to be someone who we are not. You will never be a better, you'll never better them in their own game. So it's better that we take pride in who we are and we go and we speak on issues which matter to us. when a leader from Delhi or from UP or Bihar or Gujarat or Punjab, they come to Northeast, do they try to pretend like an Assamese or a Tripuri or a Arunachali or a Naga or a Mizo? No, they are who they are and they come with
Right.
their own culture. Why do we have to dilute our culture so that they accept us? So this is what our leadership should do, and we should stop. This outrage which has happened. After 10 days, it will be over. सब लोग भूल जाएंगे 10 दिन के बाद, और उसके बाद फिर से एक साल
Very
बाद
true.
होगा, and then again we'll all be outraged. So we should stop bothering what the people think about us, and we should just try to be who we are. I think we try too hard to be something we are not. We should be proud as our own within our own culture and identity.
So why do you think that the need of strengthening the regional forces? You yourself had been with a strong national party for quite a long time.
So you see, when you see a leader from Kerala, he's in Delhi. He's not trying to be a Delhi wala. He's a Malayali there.
Right.
When you see South Indian leaders from Tamil Nadu, from Andhra Pradesh, they go and they're not trying to be something they're not. They're proud Telugu people or proud Tamil people. So why should someone from Arunachal Pradesh go and try to be a proud? We lose our identity, and this is because I think somewhere down the line we have become too used to doing chamchagiri. I'm talking in the political sphere, and there is no mainstream and non-mainstream. What is mainstream? What signifies mainstream? Does eating a certain dish make you mainstream? In the Constitution of India, is there a definition that this is mainstream and this is not mainstream? The fact is that because we do not take pride in who we are. I mean, let's be very honest. When CAA happened, it broke my heart when every leader from the Northeast got up and supported the bill and said this is a great thing. That's because we have got so used to taking orders from Delhi. And that's because we go to Delhi to get projects, we go to Delhi to get money, we go to Delhi to get posts. So when we do not go to Delhi with our problems and we go to Delhi to get something, we become basically at the beck and call. So when they issue a diktat, we follow them because we are dependent on them. So if you look at the previous years, you had leaders like Purno Sangma, you had leaders like Captain William Sangma, B.B. Lingdo, you had Mr. Jamir in his prime, you had Lalthan Haula, you had Bordoloy, you had even someone like Hiteshwar Saikia. When P.K. Mahanta went in 85, he went as a proud Assamese. Today, how many of us can actually go to Delhi and speak for our people? Every project which comes from Delhi, we see our leaders tweeting, we thank the Prime Minister, we thank our Congress President, we thank so-and-so. So we have basically said that जो भी मुझे मिल रहा है is because उन्होंने हमको दान में दिया है, तो वो हमारे अन्नदाता बन गए.
So you are hinting towards the lack of leadership?
We have not asserted ourselves as leaders. So how can we call ourselves leaders? Are we leaders from Northeast? Or are we subservient to New Delhi?
So when we're talking about a Northeast, do you think that we as a Northeasters are enough integrated among ourselves? Because if Delhi is a mainstream for whole of Northeast, then Guwahati is a mainstream for rest of other parts of the states. So do you think that we also as a Guwahati or as a Assam give enough importance to the rest of the states? And do you think there is a huge lack of leadership while you are saying that integrating Northeast, and you are saying that we don't require Delhi, but at a certain point of time, do you think there is a lack of leadership? And who you think is the future?
There are two questions which you've asked me. Let me tell you something. Differences among states will always be there. It is not only that Meghalaya, Assam, or Tripura, Mizoram, or Arunachal, Assam, Nagaland, and Assam will remain. Disputes are there, boundaries between Haryana and Punjab. Disputes are there between Himachal and parts of its, Kashmir. Disputes are there between Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. Interstate disputes are always there. But does it mean that does it mean that only Northeast has disputes amongst each other? So disputes among
Hmm.
cases across India. Maharashtra and Gujarat have a problem. Karnataka and Maharashtra have a problem near Hubli. So these
Hmm.
are problems which are germane across India. So that is not a definition that Assam hasn't integrated, so on and so forth. That is a separate topic. The reason what I'm trying to say is that we are always see that this boy who in the YouTube, he represents a mindset, and that mindset is not restricted to politician.
Hmm.
If you ask any student who is in any part of India, they will tell you that they've been similarly abused. Today, because Ninong Iring is a former Minister of State, a Member of Parliament, now a MLA, because he is a well known personality, this has got prominence and you are covering it. But let me
Hmm.
tell you, all my brothers and sisters from across Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Tripura, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Sikkim, they will agree that they at some point have faced a same amount of racism.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
this country, as I said in the beginning, has
Hmm.
never actually accepted Northeast. That's why I kept on saying, let there be a word of Northeast, a Brahmaputra or something, Kanchenjunga or something in the national anthem. There is no mention. We have a mention of Sindh in the national anthem. Why can't we
Hmm.
integrate Northeast in the national anthem? I'll give you an example. If the movie comes out on Mary Kom, the
Hmm.
Indian mindset, Bollywood is supposed to be the biggest cultural outreach. But when a movie
Hmm.
comes out, Mary Com, you take a
Hmm.
Priyanka Chopra because the film director knows that a northeastern face is not acceptable to the people, for the audience consumption. So we
Hmm.
are. It's very clear that the northeastern phase, the northeastern way of life, is not acceptable in the mainstream. And this is not a political problem; it's a cultural problem, and this will remain. What I'm trying
Hmm.
to say: look at the Africans in USA. For 200 years, they went through huge amount of racial subjugation. But
Hmm.
did the Africans start becoming white? Did they start pretending to be white? No. They remained who they
Hmm.
are. And today you've
Hmm.
had an African American president. You've had the
Hmm.
vice president who's Indian and African descent. So the
Hmm.
point is, we should not just because this is where our political leadership goes wrong. Just because we
Hmm.
are not accepted does not mean that we are wrong. We need to be more aggressive in who we are and tell the rest of the country that hey, there is no such thing as mainstream. If you are mainstream, then so is main. We are mainstream as well. If your sari is mainstream, then so is my Rignai mainstream. So is my Mekla Sador. So is my Puan. So is my Jainism mainstream. So is my Dakmanda mainstream. If your chicken biryani or butter chicken is mainstream, then so is my pita mainstream. So is my bastenga. So is my akhuni mainstream. So the fact is, we are trying too hard to be something we are not. Let's go
Right.
to Delhi. Say we want a separate time zone because work
Hmm.
productivity has to go. So, and just because we are different does not mean we are not Indians. That is something that the rest of the country has to understand. That is the most
Do you
important.
do you think, even I felt, okay, do you think that there is a lack of knowledge, and even the since the primary class also, even in different subject, the CBSE needs to include at least a different chapter for the Northeast, especially because huge gap is there. Even when I was serving as a reporter for the mainstream media, I used to get a call from the bosses ki right away you go to Manipur and cover it, which is not actually possible from the Guwahati. They don't have that geographical idea as well. You are talking about the cultural identity. I am talking about the geographical gap as well. So, do you think that mainstream should have knowledge about the Northeast, and CBSE and ICSE board should include Northeast as a subject to at least give a knowledge to the mainstream people and also bridge the gap?
No, so let me say, your boss is he uneducated?
He was educated, but they are not.
My
I
point is,
Yeah.
was he educated on what happened in England? Was he educated on what happened in America? But no, he knows, no, because there was
Hmm,
curiosity.
hmm,
If this I'm going to stick to what you said about the YouTuber. The
hmm,
YouTuber is not an uneducated person. He is an educated person. He has
hmm,
Google. We are not living in the 1990s. There's internet connection. If you
hmm,
know, the latest what is happening in America, if these guys know what is happening in Israel, if these guys know what is happening in Hollywood, then they can definitely know what is the border of India. Don't they
Right.
know?
True.
If your boss, who is he's obviously an educated person, does not know that Assam and Manipur are two different states, does that mean that they were not taught this in ICSE, so they would be ignorant? There has to be एक दिल में एक जज्बा होना चाहिए,
Cha.
keenness होना चाहिए जानने के लिए. How many times people have told me, "Oh, Pradyot, you are from the northeast. I would love to go to Bhutan." Now, these are educated guys. I mean, but then don't they know that Bhutan is another country?
True.
So, I mean, forget northeast. They don't know. They don't know Nepal. So this country basically is self-obsessed with
True.
Bollywood, with cricket, with themselves, and they are not concerned. And yes, of course, we should have a chapter on the Northeast. Of course, we should be pushing for that. I believe that there should be chapters on not only Northeast, there should be chapters on entire Southeast Asia. We are learning about the
Access
Battle of
policy.
Plassey, and we are learning about the Rashtrakutas and the Pratiharas and the Chola dynasty. We can also learn about the entire Northeast. We also have a great culture, the Ahom dynasty, the Manipur kingdom, the Tripura kingdom. But the fact is, because there is a sense of cultural superiority, nobody has actually bothered for a very long time to accommodate rest of India, especially the Northeast, into their main national curriculum. And because of that, there is a sense of superiority. That's why when someone thinks that they're superior, they stop trying to learn. So while there are a lot of good people, there are a lot of ignorant people. I'm sure this Paras, what was his name? Palash.
Paras Singh.
Paras Singh, right? I'm sure Paras Singh knows the latest Bollywood movie. I'm sure he knows what is happening in Hollywood. I'm sure he knows that Beyonce's new album is coming, or Jay-Z is who, Eminem is who. He knows it, right? So why can't he know that Arunachal Pradesh is a part of India? He was mocking us. It's not that he's uneducated. He was mocking us. That mocking comes from a sense that, अरे ये तो वहीं के हैं, देख लेंगे, क्या कर सकते हैं. नाम अजीब सा है. नाम ये निनोंग इरिंग चाइनीज है, तो हम भी बोल सकते हैं कि पारस पाकिस्तानी है. वो भी तो बॉर्डर पाकिस्तान के बॉर्डर के सामने है. बट द फैक्ट इज दैट फॉर दिस इज अ माइंडसेट प्रॉब्लम, एंड दिस माइंडसेट विल only go if we remain firm with our own identity and our own ideology, and our political leaders should stop saying that that is that अरुणाचल का लीडर बोलता है मैं भी इंडिया का हूं, मैं भी. अरे आप जानता आप कहाँ के हो, क्यों इतना ट्राई कर रहे हो, हमेशा क्या प्रूव करना पड़ता है? यू आर इंडियन, एंड if you eat Mithun, you're Indian. If you eat Akhuni, you're Indian. If you eat Mosdeng or Jado, you're Indian. You can wear anything, you're still Indian. India is a diverse country. I've not read anywhere in the Constitution of India that only if you eat this or speak this language, you'll be Indian. So we should learn from our Tamil and South Indians, Malayali, Telugu sisters, brothers and sisters. They are proud of who they are, and they don't dilute their culture.
Right. So in continuation, I have another questions regarding, you were talking about rise of regional forces, like your party has got a huge mandate recently. How do you see it? People losing their faith in the mainstream national parties. Some people alleged that it was just a political gain playing with people's sentiment. No major change is expected on the ground. Politics is politics. What is your take, your response on it?
Mainstream parties and regional parties, if they're not sincere, then they are playing politics. Ours is, my political party is a movement. Our movement is for Greater Tripura land. Our movement is against CAA. Our movement is against illegal migrants who have come into our state. Ours is a sustained political movement, not a party. Party has come and out of a movement. AGP came because of a movement, Assam movement. When it became a party and it forgot about the Assam Accord, then it lost, and today it's lost its relevance largely. So I'm very mindful of that. And regarding politicians, political parties, let me be very honest. The day you think that you can be an MLA for the next 15, 20 years, the day you become a career politician, you will not work for the people. So one should always realize that everything should be judged on merit. There are many good people in national parties, and there are many bad people in regional parties. So there is nothing called black and white. What we need is sincere people. What we need is honest people. What we need is people with a certain amount of spine. What we lack today is spine, because we have compromised so much for short-term benefits. So my take on this is that there has to be some morality, there has to be some character, and most importantly, there has to be sincerity.
Okay.
And we
So when it
should
comes
also
to
stop getting go wrong.
Okay, so when it comes to the trust deficit, the gap of trust deficit has been increasing among the leaders and the people. So there is a common say in our societies that these days that it's election time, koi kuch bhi bolenge. Once they got elected, all are the same, sab chori hai. It's like, it's very hard to believe. Even I feel sorry to say, but it's a fact. Why people are losing trust to their leaders?
क्योंकि चोर हैं, मैं सच बोल रहा
So you
हूँ.
are also saying.
हाँ, मैं बोल रहा हूँ, मैं झूठ क्यों बोलूँ? Why will I lie? चोर हैं.
Right.
Even I am surprised that there are thieves, there are corrupt people even inside my own party. I'm seeing it. I'm trying to change it, but I'm not completely successful. तो झूठ क्यों बोलो? We all live in a small society. You all know when there is theft happening, you know when there is nepotism happening. So when people are losing hope, that is because it is the truth. Why should I go and defend the thief? But if I can't stop someone from stealing, at least I cannot steal myself, or I can try to prevent it. So the fact is that, according to me, though I'm in politics, I would rather have this country being less political. I would rather this country being more statesman-like. Today we have career politicians. What we need are leaders with certain amount of statesmanship, certain amount of vision. People who will actually think. See, there are two things. If a politician comes or a leader comes, forget politician, anyone. Would you like to make money, or would you like to be remembered? If you want to be remembered, then you have to not, you cannot compromise. But if you don't want to be remembered and you want to make money quickly, then you will do what many leaders are doing. So I don't blame the people in, I sometimes ask my mother that, why did you tell me politics was good? Because politics is really a bad business. If I had to be born again, if I had to start all over again, Afrida, let me tell you, I would not have gone to politics myself. I've lost sleep. I've lost my. There's so many things I've lost in life, and I regret myself being in politics, because it is really not a good profession anymore. But then, if I am there in it, at least I can be sincere. If people have given me some responsibility, at least for the next 5 years, I should try to deliver.
Right.
That is the most.
What is your take on the last Assam election? Because despite of lots of regional parties coming up, they have not done well. Because I am talking about politics, that's why this question comes to my mind. How do you see the Assam election? Because lots of regional parties like the Akhil Gogoi party was there, Lurin Gogoi's party was there. Despite of the fact, and despite being the young leader and very good leader, they have not done so well. So what do you think that politics needs a management, politics needs lots of things which is lack in the today's leadership? What is it, according to you? What is your take on the reason? Because it's very important and people would like to hear your comment.
I think that if our victory in Tripura, because our victory, it was also fought on CAA, had come before the polling happened in Assam, then nobody gave my regional party any chance. Because we were taking on the mighty BJP, who are in the center and state. We were taking on CPM, which was in power for the last 20 years, with a very strong leader under Manik Sarkar. We were taking on Congress party, my former party, with full support from Delhi. And this is this 2 month party, regional party led by this young chap. क्या समझता है वो अपने आप को? And because I was fighting on CAA, we had led a movement. We worked during Corona. We surprised, and if the result had come before the polling happened in Assam, I think in Upper Assam, our victory would have given confidence to the people to vote, because they could think then that the mighty BJP or the Congress or National Party can be defeated if the leadership is there. So that is one that I think would have changed. And second, whether you like it or not, you have a very capable leader under Hemanta Biswa Sarma, who knows how to, who knows the art of politics,
Managing politics.
managing politics, and I think he played a really good game. And I think Congress made a very big mistake. I think the Congress should have gone alone and not with AIUDF. And Congress would have then, under like late Tarun Gogoi, Congress should have been the party for all. Congress has indirectly indicated that we have outsourced the lower Assam votes to AIUDF, and we are going to handle Upper Assam. In that case, they were neither a winner in lower Assam, neither a winner in Upper Assam. I think the Congress lost the plot there. I think they should have gone alone, or with maybe BPF, but definitely not with AIUDF. And again, when you take on an opponent like Hemanta Biswa Sarma, you've already he's already thinking 10 steps ahead of you. So I think the Congress made a complete mess of it. And Hemanta Biswa Sarma not only defeated the Congress and the AIUDF and the regional parties, but also ensured that he became the chief minister. So his man management skill is something that whether you like him, you don't like him, you cannot ignore the fact that he is a very capable and a very smart politician.
Okay, so coming to the racial discrimination part, what do you think, how we could fill the gap between the mainstream and again to the Northeast? Because Bej Barua committee has been formed and the committee has submitted a report, but government, okay, you are ignorant about it?
No, kuch nahi hua. I know about the Bej Barua committee. It happened.
Okay, what is your comment? Because government is always ignorant. They talk about Northeast.
Yeah, committee mein, then you put a committee on top of another committee. Everybody knows, right? That day, Chona Menji was saying, the deputy CM of Arunachal, he was saying that the Northeast MPs forum should get together and then speak in Delhi. The Northeast MP forum has been there for so long. They did not even speak on CAA. The Northeast MPs forum has not spoken on PRAC or land alienation, because the whole of Northeast is, as of today, controlled by one party or their alliance partners, right? We are talking about diversity. The National Party, which is in Delhi, has one point which is very clear. They want uniform civil code. That means one language, one religion, one law, one custom. So it goes against the very grain of diversity. So how can they even go against the entire ideology and philosophy of uniform civil code? So that is one thing. Second is that how do we tackle this racism? I think we can all, at least, I mean, there are MPs, they can all move a private member's bill in the parliament. If the Congress is not willing to support, if the BJP is not willing to support, then move a private member's bill against racism. Make a law in the parliament against racism, and racism should not be restricted to only people from Northeast. If somebody comes from outside and is discriminated on his religion, on his looks, on his skin of the skin of the color of the skin, or on anything, food habits, cultural habits, there should be a law against racism, and move a private member's bill in the parliament. If the National Party reject it, हमको मालूम पड़ जाएगा कि they are not with us. So the idea is that you have to move it. If the parties are not willing to listen, then move a private member's resolution in the parliament asking for a law against racism.
Okay, so coming to the video part of the girl being raped by the 4 to 5 boys, what is your take on it? Because still the police and the administration is not able to find out the whereabouts of the girl, where the video is from, and lots of things. Although she is suspected to be from the Northeast. What is your take on it? It is a horrifying video.
No, no, I know. I've seen the video. Whether the girl is from the northeast, whether she is from another part of India or Bangladesh, as some people are saying, whatever. I mean, what has happened to that girl is it makes you feel sick in the gut. Again, this is a rape. Rape has no religion, no ethnicity. It has rape is a rape. Those people would have also raped their own people from their own community. They are a threat to their own family members. So they are rapists. So a rapist does not target an ethnicity. A rapist will rape a 70-year-old woman also. They will do it to a 3-year-old child also. These are perverts. And my only thing is it makes me feel sick in the gut. Of course, I feel really bad if she is from the Northeast. But even if she wasn't from the Northeast, if she was there, she's a woman. And I think we need to, we can use the face tracking technology. People can come forward from the language, what they were speaking. We know that they belong, I think they were speaking Bengali.
Bengali.
So we can at least zero in certain regions. And instead of making it a Bengal versus Northeast thing, that will not help anyone. And action should be taken against them. We should find out how the girl is. Is she? Where is she? Is she alive? She should be rehabilitated, and an example should be made with those guys who have raped her, and even the girl who actually was helping those guys rape her and molest her. So that means this is about power. This is not about this is about domination, and this mindset is the reason why this country has never gone ahead, because there is no respect for women, and either we make the woman look like Bharat Mata or we expect them to cook food in the kitchen. We've never actually, in our hearts, tried to give women equal space in society. We use words like empowerment, reservation, but the fact is, much like this country has never accepted parts of Northeast as their own, they have also not accepted women to be equal partners in power.
Okay. So much talk about the politics and also the racial discrimination. Coming to the COVID, maybe my last question. So many health experts focus that Northeast will become a hub of COVID. Even lots of articles are coming on media. And it's becoming true. Poor health care system, poor communication, lack of awareness among the people is, I believe, that why Northeast is hitting hard. Any action, any plan, any short-term plan, immediate plan you are looking for, at least for the Tripura?
See, we've just installed today. We've started the process of installing for the first time an oxygen cylinder plant within the ADC areas. We've got oxygen concentrators from our friends. Even the Khalsa Aid has offered us some help, which is highly commendable. We have tried to ensure that food, we are from our own personal capacity, we are giving food to all the patients free of cost from our side, though this is not a government aided thing, we're doing it on our own side. The fact is that Northeast has spent no money in healthcare. We have not spent enough money in that, and today when the second wave is hitting us, we are feeling the pinch. The fact is that we need to vaccinate, we need to test, and we need to maintain discipline, and we also need to have a full package, because so many people have lost employment. A lot of people who are working in the hospital in Bangalore, Delhi, Hyderabad, Chennai, they have had to come back. They are jobless. So many people who depend on tourism in the hotel industry, in the entertainment industry, they have lost jobs. People have had to relieve workers. So we'll have to come up with different projects which are Northeast specific, which is specific to our region, and that's the only way we can go ahead. And we have to be very careful that, unlike what happened in Kumbh Mela or what happened with Tablighi Jamaat last year, we have to ensure that in the name of worship, in the name of religion, in the name of festivals, anyone, be it any religion, we should not create a super spreader. I think it is very
Pradyut,
important. It is very, yeah,
yeah,
please tell me.
yeah. So Pradyut, my last question. How you dream Tripura in the next 10 years as a young leader? What is your
I'm not,
dream
I'm not a young
about
leader.
Tripura?
I'm not a young leader. In fact,
But
just because I have people who are older than me does not make me young. I think a young leader should be someone who is 32, 33, max 35, not me. If I consider
but
myself young leader,
40 is
then
still considered as young.
that's because young is 60 in Indian politics, and I don't consider myself young. But yes, I do dream of a Tripura which is fair to all. I do dream of a greater Tipra land, which includes every Tiprasa who's been left out outside the autonomous district areas. I do dream of Tripura, which will show a strong, powerful leadership amongst the indigenous people, who's fair to all communities, all religions, be it Bengali, Manipuri, Tiprasa, Mizo, any community. It should be a fair leadership, and I do believe that a strong Tripura in 10 years can only happen if there is less politics and more economic activities. Today, because of the previous communist rule in Tripura, we are so obsessed with politics. We are not trying to ensure economic activity. So we have so much time in our hand. All we do is do adda and discuss politics. We should be discussing jobs. We should be discussing economic activity. We should be discussing entrepreneurship. We should be discussing a better way of life. But today, all we do is talk politics, politics, politics. We need to talk less politics, and we need to bring in attitude change in our state, and a change which is which spreads less hatred towards each other. Because eventually, the only people who are suffering are not the Bengalis, are not the tribals, are not the Manipuris, it's not the Muslims, Hindus, Christians. The only people who are actually benefiting from this divide are the politicians, of which I am one.
Any last message to the people of Northeast?
I think just be who we are. I think let's not try to be who we are not. Let's walk up to the Rajghat. Let's walk up to the Parliament. And when we walk up there, and when they say आप कहाँ से हो, तो हम भी पूछेंगे आप कहाँ से हो. आप पहला होमवर्क कीजिए. I think हमको we need to be proud of where we come from. Be a proud Naga, be a proud Assamese, be a proud Mizo, a Tiprasa, a Arunachali. Be proud of who we are. Let us not forget that the day we dilute ourselves, we are neither going to be here or there. So my only thing is, be proud, don't be arrogant, be firm, but don't be communal. And yes, a day will come that we can all prosper as a region, and let us become the next big economic thing in the region. So we don't need to go to Delhi to make a better living, or to any part of India actually.
I really wish your hope to see Tripura more on economic activities and less politics will become true soon. And thank you for joining us, Pradyut. And thank you, viewers. Please like and subscribe our channel, and don't forget to follow us at www.insideany.com. Please bless us, and please be our general critic as well. Thank you, Pradyut. Thank you.
Belai no hambai. Belai no hambai. Thank you.
Berele Hambai. Thank you.